Ellen Hetta is 6 years old, and the nomadic life is the only one she's ever known. Her father, Michael Hetta, a Lapp, or Sámi, is a reindeer herder in northern Norway. November 4th, and they are more than halfway through the 3-month fall migration. This migration takes them to winter grazing grounds where lichen grows plentifully. Michael's wife, Inga Marie, has to organize the complex nomadic household. Jürgen is the family's hired hand. He is paid in money and reindeer, and one day he'll have a herd of his own. Michael Hetta has been at one time or another a mechanic, a cook, a farmer. He has traveled abroad. But it was to the demanding life of his Sámi forebears that he chose to return. In northern Norway, about 3,000 Sámis are involved in reindeer herding. The Hetta's fall migration is a trek inland from the Norwegian coast to Finnmark's plain, 350 kilometers. December 6th. After 3 months of watching and manipulating the herd 24 hours a day, they arrive at their winter home. A 110 kilometers away is the town of Kautokeino, for 400 years a Sámi settlement. For 1 week in March, Sámi families bring their young children to the government boarding school. And the Hettas have come with Ellen Inga. This sociable week introduces young nomadic children to the unfamiliar environment of the school. Until recently, Sámi culture had been belittled. The Sámi language even forbidden in the schoolyard. All this has changed. Now many teachers are Sámis, and for the first 3 years, instruction is in the Sámi language. Ellen's brother Johann knows what he wants to be, a herder. And her sister Berit wants to marry a herder someday. Their school curriculum does not prepare them for the herder's life. This they must learn by living it with their family. So every second week, the school allows them a 4-day weekend at home. Commuting from school to home, from one world to another, has been made possible by the snowmobile, which has cut the sled journey of 4 days to one of less than 10 hours. For centuries, the Sámi lived in northern isolation. Now, modern transportation and communication have brought them into frequent contact with Western Europe, and the young generation lives in both worlds. Before the snowmobile, draft animals and skis were used to reach the herd. The Sámis have been using skis for over 1,500 years. It's believed that they invented them. Bad weather, attacks by wolverines, eagles, and other animals are an ever-present danger to the herd in winter, and an ever-present concern for Michael and Jürgen. Today they are moving the herd to a better grazing area. When the lichen becomes covered with ice, the reindeer cannot get at it. Without help, they would starve. Complete herds have died because of ice-covered lichen. April. Reindeer skins are taken out of storage for the spring migration. The herd must be rounded up and controlled, for suddenly the animals crave the fresh green food on the coast. Jürgen attempts to encircle and restrain the restless herd. Working as a team, Michael and Inga Marie set up a tent a little distance from the house. Here they assemble all the equipment and supplies needed for the spring migration. The headers must reach the mountainous coast of northern Norway within 3 weeks to rendezvous with a Navy ferry. A week into the journey, they pass another reindeer herd, a larger one. To make sure the two herds do not mix, it is the Sámi custom to allow the larger herd to pass first. The headers will have to stop and set up camp for a day. The 24-hour stopover will not be restful. They take turns watching the herd and slaughter a reindeer for fresh meat. Little Ellen Inga, this day next year, will be in boarding school. Until then, however, happy and secure in her nomadic life, she learns the traditional skills from her mother. How to soften and sew reindeer skin, how to dry senna grass to put in boots to keep the feet warm and dry. Arriving at the fjord is one of the high points of the year. The enticing prospect of a carefree summer by the sea and mountains is almost within reach, just across the fjord. Johan and Berit have special leave from school for the final lap of the spring migration.